Looking for tips on all things art business related? Social media for artists? Or one-line art? This is the place for you. Welcome to my channel. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how I go about drawing hair. I'm going to be showing you how I draw straight hair and curly hair. And yeah, I have been developing the way I draw hair for a good while now. I have very specific techniques for how I draw straight hair versus how I draw curly hair. I have been asked several times on social media to please do this tutorial, so I'll try to do it as clearly and as thoroughly as possible. If you guys want to know more about how I draw the faces that I will have ready before I get into the hair during this tutorial, you'll have to try to find my previous tutorials here on YouTube, or you can also go to Skillshare, where I'm a top teacher, and you can find specific full in-depth lessons on how I draw portraits, on how I found my one-line art style, which is a very nice one, and even on animals. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it, and yeah, let's go. So now that I have the face, I'm gonna get started with the hair. So as you guys know, I like to use the thickness of the line to represent the depth of the drawing. So I'm going to use a thick line for the delimiting line of the hair. Sorry for that. And then I'm just going to use and interchangeably thin and thick lines to create the sense of hair falling, thick hair falling. So I want to make sure that that end is nice and narrow, and then I'm gonna connect randomly at different points of the hair so that the hair looks just more natural, just more like hair. If you notice, I change between thick and thin depending on the hair, depending on the line that I have next to the line that I'm drawing. So for example, this one, I'm gonna use my new layer. So this one is thick, the one I have right here. So the next one that I'm gonna be drawing is gonna be thin. So it's gonna be thin next to it, because then it makes the hair just look much more flowy, I guess, if you can say that. So I'm just gonna notice that I don't have to go all the way down if I want to continue the hair. So as long as it merges at some point, so I'm gonna go back to my marking layer. And so as long as the lines, as long as the lines merge at some point, I'm fine with that. Just completely fine with that. So going back to my drawing layer, And so sorry, I got out of it. So you see, I have to make sure that I'm on the hair, within the hair limits. So I'm gonna go back and create a thick line for the hair limits and then do the usual. Thick lines where I see thin lines. I had to fix that one, sorry. So I'm gonna go back and you can always trick it. Thin lines, thicker where I see thick. And just make sure that all the space you want to do is delimited. So yeah, this is how my drawing looks like. Oh, I forgot her eye, sorry. I think she needs an eye. And here you go. I think that wavy hair and straight hair look better when you use thick and thin lines interchangeably. Now on to curly hair. Guys, so I have her face, and for curly hair what I like to do is that instead of doing loops like this, just loops, I like to wiggle. So I'm gonna go in different directions. I'm a curly girl myself, and I know that curly hair just goes in all sorts of different directions, and I like to do this using the contour that's already been offered to me from my reference photo. So what I'm doing is that I'm just using squiggles that are completely random. And it's just me going about it, right? 1 second. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that the squiggles have different thicknesses. I do also want to make sure that my squiggles don't have any edges that are way too sharp. So just gonna make sure I follow any bits of the hair that naturally fall out of the conception of the fro. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, unless of course she has a perfectly round fro. You want to kind of go with that. And sometimes use loops, sometimes use squiggles. Just try to combine those two. And of course on the face, there is really no difference. Just continue the hair kind of pattern. And there you go. This is how I draw curly hair. So let's look at them side by side. So this is how I draw curly hair. I'm gonna put her here. And this is how I draw straight hair. I'm gonna put her here. So yeah, that's it. I hope that was useful. If you have any other questions or things that need clarification, make sure that you drop me a DM on my social media channels, or you can simply just comment on the section below. You can also sign up to this YouTube channel and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified whenever I post a new tutorial on how to do one-line art. That's it for now. See you guys next time.